I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for everything business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Marcos Moura on the line, and he's co-founder over at Amada Senior Care. Marcos, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's just jump right in. Tell us a little bit more about Amada Senior Care and what you're doing.
Yeah, so Amada Senior Care is a home care company. We provide caregivers to seniors in their homes, and we do all non-medical care, meaning dressing, bathing, walking, meal preparation, companionship, whatever it is that senior needs in order to thrive at home. We've been in business since 2007 here in Orange County, but we started franchising in 2012. And that was where, our company really exploded. We're in about 130 markets throughout the United States now, and owned by amazing entrepreneurs. Last year we did about $97 million in gross revenues. We're thinking that this year we'll definitely break the $100 million. We're projecting about $127 million. So it's been an amazing journey.
Man, that is amazing. I love to hear these stories of people scaling their business and it really taking off. Let's talk a little bit more about the franchises and the franchise model and why you went that route.
Yeah, so it was very accidental. Most franchises actually start accidentally. So we had a friend of ours, Robert Christensen, who was a Pfizer pharmaceutical rep for about 13 years. He called and he said, "Hey guys, I'm finally getting my severance. I'm getting fired." Most people are not excited to get fired, but Rob was
he was excited.
He's like, "I'm getting out of here." And he said, "Hey, I'm going to take my severance." It was over like $100,000, and so I'm going to take my severance. I want to become the first franchisee of Amada Senior Care. And we said, "No. Like, no, we don't franchise, Rob. Like, that's not our thing. We could help you find a great franchise, but we don't franchise." And Rob was like, "No, you don't understand. Like, that's my plan. That's what I'm doing. I booked my flights. I'm coming out there. I'm going to learn everything about the business. I'm going to franchise it here in Washington." And we're like, "Rob, we don't even know if it will work in Washington."
Wow.
And Rob's like, "No, it will. I promise, it will." So we're fighting this guy. We're like, "No," and he's like, "Yes." So crazy, right? He comes to the office, and Rob is an amazing entrepreneur. He's one of these guys that you just love automatically. You connect with him, Robert Christensen in Tacoma, Washington on LinkedIn. Just an amazing entrepreneur. But I remember that he's in our office and he's grabbing pamphlets. And my partner Tafa played in the NFL. He's 6'6", half black, half Samoan, very intimidating guy, but he's a teddy bear. But he's like grabbing my other partner and I. He's going, "Dude, get this guy out of my office. Like, this guy's going to steal our information. Who is he? Like, we're not franchising." But Rob won us all over, and in March of 2012, he signs the first franchise agreement of Amada Senior Care, and he opens his business in Tacoma, Washington. In his first year, he does something like $800,000 in revenues. His second year, he does $1.2 million. Like, he just exploded, and that's how we started.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Let's talk about the opportunity itself. So what kind of entrepreneurs, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to this, and there's possibly some people that are getting some severance checks that are in similar things. They're like, "Wait a minute," and they just turned up the volume a little bit. What's the right type of fit to be a franchisee for Amada Senior Care? What do you typically look for?
Yeah. Okay, this is a great question. So what we decided, and this is going to be great for some of you and not so great for some of you if you're interested in our business. So Robert was a pharmaceutical rep, and so we sat down with Rob and we said, "Rob, okay, crazy question, but is it possible that there's more pharmaceutical reps out in the country who are like you, who are somewhat frustrated with their lives, that would want to acquire an Amada Senior Care franchise?" And Rob was like, "Yes, absolutely." Rob said, "Hey, We have changing commission structures. We've got all this regulatory stuff that's coming down the line. I can't even give a pen anymore to a doctor. My neighbors think I'm a drug dealer. So he had all these pain points, and he said, absolutely, if you go after other pharmaceutical folks, and he went above that. He goes, medical device folks, biotech folks, all these people who are selling healthcare would be an ideal audience. So we took a risk. We said, I wonder if we took our franchise, which is nothing right now. We have one franchise partner. We were very successful in Orange County, California. But we thought, what if we took this model and we introduced it to all these folks from Pfizer, Merck, Stryker, Abbott, Medtronic, and invited them to become franchisees? Now, it worked. So out of our 130 locations, about 80% of them are owned by former pharmaceutical and medical device salespeople. It's been amazing. Like, we took a chance, and we're so happy that we did. Now, there's about 20% of our entrepreneurs that come from all walks of life. In fact, one of our top entrepreneurs who has a Amada Senior Care in Colorado Springs, Colorado, who did $6.1 million in gross revenues in 2018. He was a stockbroker before he opened an Amada Senior Care. So not a requirement, but that's the audience we went after. So to your question, Adam, it basically comes down to, if you're really good at building relationships of trust, you eat glass for breakfast because it's a really tough business, and you love building these relationships with other professionals, B2B, then this could be the right business for that type of entrepreneur.
And let's talk a little bit more about the types of services. So what type of services does Amada Senior Care provide to its patients or clients? Yeah,
so they are clients because we're all non-medical, so you're right. And it's it's so interesting because it's very simple. The one thing we are all going to need before we die, most likely, is care. Mm-hmm. And what's happening is we've been able to make our bodies live longer, but we haven't quite figured out how to make our brains live longer. And so dementia is such a problem now, and people are living so long that they end up needing care at the end of life. And so our clients are usually 80 plus, 80, 90, 100 years old, and we're seeing that age go higher and higher. We started the business in 2007, started taking care of the greatest generation. We're not even yet taking care of baby boomers, right? Baby boomers are still going, right? They're doing great, but they're the next segment that's coming. And in the home, it's very simple. Everybody ends up needing is they need help dressing themselves. They need help cooking a meal. They need help just driving to a physician's appointment, companionship. So we're not doing wound care therapy, shots, anything medical. In fact, 0% of our $97 million we did last year came from Medicare or Medicaid. We're not a healthcare really organization in the sense of providing medical services. It's all non-medical, which is really, when you think about it, what you need on a daily basis in order to thrive in your home still.
Man, that's awesome. It's a great story, Marcos. I love the service you're doing. You're right. We're all going to need it at some point. So Marcos, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Amada Senior Care, either as looking at the franchise opportunity, or they just want to check it out because they either need the service or want to refer the service to their loved ones, what's the best way for them to reach out and to get info?
Just go to AmadaSeniorCare.com. That's the best way. And if you want to connect with me, LinkedIn is where I live. Go to Marcos Moura on LinkedIn. You're going to find about 100 Brazilians with that name. I'm Brazilian. It's a very common name. But if you triangulate Amada Senior Care, you'll find me there. I'd love to connect with you there. And if I can help anyone listening to this in any way, always, please feel free to send me an in-mail message. Love to connect.
Well, hey, Marcos, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and the amazing rise of Amada Senior Care. I have no doubt this thing is just going to continue to explode. I'll bring you back in 2021. You're going to be like, we're now in not 130, we're in 230. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how many markets are there. I don't know, but look out, Amada Senior Care is coming. That's all I have to say. I love it. Love what you guys are doing, man.
From your lips to God's ears. I mean,
I love what you guys are doing.
That would be amazing.
So awesome stuff there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a lot of fun listening to this. We had a lot of fun making this for you. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, give that a subscribe, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to hear your thought process and what you're up to and what you're working on. And Marcos, thanks again for coming on the show.